My name is Betty Hune, alias Betty Jones. That's my maiden name. And I was born in Enid, Oklahoma on July 6th, 1934. My parents' uh, names were, my father's name was John Ernest Jones. He always went by the name Ernest. He didn't like John. My mother's name was Blanche Bennett Jones, Bennett being her maiden name. And she was born in Oklahoma. My father was born in Missouri. And I only had one sibling. I had a brother. His name was Robert Ernest Jones. And he was also born in Oklahoma. And that's the extent of the direct family members. We lived in California most of our lives, um, in an area near the beach, not too far from Venice Beach. And went to school there, except for 1 year when we went back to Oklahoma because my grandfather had passed away. My grandmother had an 80-acre piece of land that mostly farming in that area was done, since we lived 6 miles out of the town of Guthrie, which originally had been the capital of Oklahoma. But I was told that the people in Oklahoma City stole that away from Guthrie one night, during the night, and they even have a poster up there in front of the city hall describing how that theft happened, that they lost being the capital of Oklahoma. It's still a sore thing with those people back there. When I was back in Oklahoma, I was in the 4th grade at the time, and my grandfather had donated part of his property to the local school district because there was no school out there for the children whose families lived there and did farming. And it was quite an experience. We had animals. We had 2 cows that my grandmother milked every day, and she had a little small shack that she took it in and had the things that do the separation of the milk into the cream and the milk. And my father got sheep while we were there because that was something that could help her with being able to come back from the step that she had gotten herself in. And he managed the place for her for that year. And they always went to the auctions every Saturday. And one day he came home with a horse, so I had my own horse for a while, which was really exciting for me. I loved it. My horse's name was Danny, and I got to ride him a lot because we had, I'm not sure how many sheep we had, but we had a large piece of land to go and get them when it was time for them to come in for the night, because there were coyotes in the area, and they would go after animals like sheep. So we always had to be careful and check on them. And then when the sheep had lambs, then we had to go out in the forest and find the sheep. And my dad would hand me the baby lamb, and I'd put it across me on the front of the horse. And then we'd go back to the barn, and the mama lamb would follow, mama sheep would follow because her lamb was there. And that's how we got them home. And one time we did find uh, a lamb or a sheep that had been killed by a coyote on the land. We counted every time we brought them in, and one was missing, so we had to go out and find it, and we did. Um,
Where were your parents from?
oh, my mother was born in Oklahoma, and my father was born in Missouri, and when I did some genealogy checking on my family, I found that